JFD, just fair and direct.
Okay, hello and welcome everyone. Welcome to JFD Traders Tea Time with me, Darius Anucauskas. Today's the 27th of May 2020. So yep, welcome everyone. Welcome to this Wednesday's afternoon session where we're going to have a quick look at the markets, a few of the charts, the usual stuff. But before we do that, as always, let's quickly have a read through our risk disclaimer. So, the content we produce does not constitute investment advice or investment recommendation, should not be considered as such, and does not in any way constitute an invitation to acquire any financial instrument or product. As always, I'll give you a few seconds to read the rest and we can continue. Okay, so now then, before we jump into the charts, as always, quick mentioning of our JFD YouTube channel, to which you can always subscribe to in order not to miss any of our upcoming videos, and of course our JFD Bank website, and specifically our JFD research page, which we also update on a daily basis. So yep, feel free to visit us here on jfdbank.com and click on the research tab right there on the top. So yep, I believe you can find something useful here. Now then, quick update on the figure here. So yep, we've managed to, well, not managed to, but we've just surpassed the 5,600,000 barrier, and yep, the number continues to rise. So yep, we'll continue monitoring this, and we'll see where this figure will be tomorrow. Now then, jumping into a few indices very quickly. So the first one I want to touch on here is the Nasdaq 100. So yesterday the index closed almost unchanged, to be honest. I mean, it was here, it says that it was in the red, however it still managed to barely kind of stay in some sort of positive territory, or even actually I would say virtually unchanged, even because, to be honest, it was the worst performer from the top three indices, from among the Dow and the S&P. And yep, but of course, the main kind of the leader in this, the reason for this index to kind of drift lower was the fact that technology stocks kind of drifted lower, and after hitting its all-time highs, like Facebook, for example, Facebook declined yesterday, sharply declined, together with Tesla, Amazon, and some other tech stocks. So yep, we saw the index drifting lower. Looking at the cash index right now and where it's currently balancing at, it's currently moving near the 9,392 mark, so basically not far from where it closed yesterday. So in a way, we're going to keep an eye on the search tree. We're going to keep an eye on this level as well. I've talked about this one previously when I looked at Nasdaq 100, the 9,355 zone. As you can see, this was the high of the 12th of May, and previously it acted as a good area of resistance. Then it took the role of support, and yep, we're now back to it again. So let's see if it actually breaks lower or not. I mean, if the index breaks below this or not. Now, previously also I've mentioned, when I looked at Nasdaq, I've mentioned this potential idea of a rising wedge pattern here. And let me just quickly put this one on the chart. There we go. So yep, so basically I've talked about this one. Of course, as you all understand it, according to all the TA rules, these patterns tend to break to the downside. However, until we see that violation of the lower side of this pattern, we cannot really talk about any downside. So in a way, it could continue moving inside its formation. So that's why for now we will stick a little bit more to the upside. However, as I said, if we get a break below below this, below the lower side of the pattern, then yep, we could start considering some lower areas. And one of the levels that you could keep an eye on, just in case here, is the low of the 18th of May here, which is around the 9,250 zone. So roughly around here. If we get a drop below this as well, well, I mean, yep, lower levels could be met, and then yep, we will aim for levels like the 8,860 or even below that. So for now, all eyes are on this pattern here. The German DAX, now here the German DAX is performing quite well. It managed to reach our target, the one that I was talking about this morning, as well, the 200 EMA here on the daily chart. So we managed to hit that, and we also managed to almost, if I'm not mistaken, let me just zoom in here. Well, no, actually didn't quite reach the 11,770 zone. That also the level that I talked about this morning. That's the high of the 6th of March. It just fell shy of just by a few points from hitting that, and yep, it drifted back down. So this is what the scenario that I was talking about, basically, where let's see how it performs, how the index performs around this area of resistance between the 11,770 and the 11,845. If this provides good resistance, then we may see maybe a bit of a correction here back down. However, if the price remains above this barrier, the 11,236 zone, the one that I was talking about previously, the upper side of the range where the index was trading in before. If it this time provides good support, then yep, we could see another round of buying and potentially maybe going further up here. But for now, all eyes are on this area, as I said. Of course, keep your eyes on the 200 EMA on the daily chart. If all this kind of provides good resistance, then we may see a bit of a correction here to the downside. But in that case, keep your eyes then on the 11,236. If that area breaks, if it fails to provide support, then, well, I mean, this could lead to some larger extensions to the downside. So keep your eyes on this one. The FTSE 100 here is trying to make its way up here above the April's high. You can see that it's currently stuck near this level, near this 6,152. Well, maybe just slightly above that, but of course, let's see where this daily candle will end today, because if it stays above this, then there is a bit more chances for this one to drift higher. However, if it fails to close above this barrier, above the April's high, then, well, I mean, maybe not everything is that good in the bull block. However, we'll keep on monitoring this index, but for now, it is a tricky one, although yes, it could push a little bit higher, but probably let's take a bit of a cautious approach here and wait for a daily close above this April high near the 6,152 mark. Gold. So this is what I talked about this morning, and basically, given that we've managed to break the 1723 mark, this is what I've mentioned this morning. This morning we were still hanging around here, around the 1710 zone, roughly around there. And what I was saying, that the next target for us is, of course, that psychological 1700 level. But if that fails to provide support, the next potential area of support could be near the 1680-81 zone. And as you can see, the commodities right now traveling in that direction. So yep, it's getting closer to that level. So let's see if it can reach that, and if it can this area provide at least some sort of temporary support? Yep, for now, like I said, we'll keep it short and simple. I'll reevaluate this one tomorrow. Again, we'll see where gold could go further after that, but for now, the main target for us is around 1680 zone. Silver is doing a little bit better than gold. However, it's also on a slight decline today. It is drifting lower. It seems that it's trying to make its way towards the Friday's low, last week's Friday's low, near the 16.72 273 mark, roughly around there. Overall, let's not forget that we're still trading above this upside support line taken from the low of the 18th of March, and in a way this move lower could still be seen as a temporary correction before another leg of buying. So that's why for now, yes, there is a possibility for this one to drift a little bit lower. We'll keep an eye on the Friday's low near the 16.73 mark. If that gets broken, then maybe yes, lower levels could be met. However, as I said, keep your eyes on this short-term upside support line, because that in a way could be that an opportunity here for the bulls to step in and drive this one higher. For those who are more on the cautious side, you could just wait for a push above the 17.60 zone and then aim for higher levels. Now then, jumping into Bitcoin very quickly. So Bitcoin bulls are fighting hard, trying to get the crypto back above this short-term upside support line taken from the low of the 16th of March. But as I've mentioned previously when I was covering Bitcoin, in order for us to maybe start looking at some slightly higher levels, at least some of these levels that we saw in around the beginning of May or mid-May, we would like to see a push above the 9,300 barrier first and then aim for higher levels. And of course, ideally a daily close could do the trick here for more buyers. So a daily close above this 9,300 level. So but again, for now, let's see where today's daily candle is going to end, because what we don't want to see here is a potential false breakout where, as you can see right now, the price is balancing slightly above this upside line. But if the bears kick in closer to the end of the day and push this one back down, so yep, we'll have ourselves a nice false breakout here. But again, for now, let's keep an eye on this one and let's pick up on this tomorrow. AUD-NZD. So this one is drifting below this level. I talked about this level, the 1.07 territory. Basically what I was saying, that if this upside line gets broken and we see a strong move below this 1.07 territory, then well, this kind of increases the chances of a potential further slide here. Of course, don't get me wrong, for example, on the 22nd of May, we also had a nice, good, strong move lower, but it got held by the 21-day EMA. Similar thing is happening right now as well. So that's why wait for this daily candle to end, and we'll see then, because if it manages to finally stay below this 1.07 territory, and if it also, in addition to that, let's say if it closes maybe somewhere below the 21-day EMA, then yep, this could increase the chances of this one sliding a little bit further down. However, we're not going to drag this one too much to the downside. Initially, we'll target the 1.0585 territory, roughly around here. As you can see, it acts as a very good area of support here back on the 23rd of April and also on the 4th of May. So we'll keep an eye on that one, and if that provides some sort of temporary support, could see maybe a bit of a rebound. But I mean, maybe I'm getting a bit ahead of myself here, but let's first, like I said, see how it performs near this 1.07 level today. NZD CAD. Now here, of course, the New Zealand dollar is on the stronger side, but however, the Canadian dollar is today is slightly still slightly stronger. So you can see the NZD CAD is kind of was trying to make its way higher here, and let me just actually get rid of one of these lines, this one right here, and it tried to overcome this downside line taken from the high of the 25th of March 2019. But you can see that, for example, this week we did have a few attempts to overcome it. Even today, it did overshoot that downside line. However, as you can see, well, for past couple of weeks, it's failing to kind of stay above this downside line. So it keeps breaking it, but it's failing to stay above it. So in a way, for us to get comfortable with higher levels, we need to see not only a break of this downside line, but also maybe a push somewhere above the 0.85, 76, 75 zone, and then aim for higher levels, because until then, we're really, well, I mean, I don't want to say that we're bearish, but to be honest, it's a little bit tricky here, I would say. So let's keep an eye on this downside line, and yep, let's keep an eye on. Let me just kind of move this downside line a little bit. So let's keep an eye on this downside line. But if this pair starts falling somewhere below the 0.85 territory right here, then well, I mean, maybe we could see a bit of a larger extension here to the downside, and maybe we could aim for the low of the current lowest point of May near the 0.8345 zone. But again, for now, it's let's wait and see. For now, like I said, let's see if this pair drops below the 0.85 territory. If it doesn't, then maybe the bulls still have a chance to push this one higher. However, as I said, in order for us to get a little bit more comfortable with higher levels, we need to see a break of this downside line and a push above the 0.8575 zone. USD CAD. Here the situation is well, it's working out. What is, as I was talking about previously, basically, yes, we are currently sitting near this level. We've tested this area today, the 1.3734. I talked about this level yesterday as well, and we managed to test that area, and from here the pair kind of rebounded a little bit, so it's kind of struggling to move below it. For now, we will still remain bearish on this one, but we will get a little bit more comfortable, I would say, with examining lower levels if we get a drop, a nice good drop below the 1.3734 zone. So keep your eyes on this one. The next target for us, as I've mentioned this morning, will be around the 200-day EMA, and after that we will reevaluate everything again. So for now, like I said, we are targeting this this territory right here, and that level, this area is roughly near the 1.3580 zone. GBP Euro. So GBP Euro, it's quite interesting here. So yep, it's drifting lower. Of course, the Euro is the strongest one today, and yep, it's kind of all other pairs are kind of surrendering to the Euro today. So for now, looking at this pair, it seems that yes, this could drift a little bit further down. However, as you can see, this level here, the 1.1110, I spoke about this previously, and as you can see, this level here, it marks the inside swing high of the 20th of March, and you can see last week it acted as a very strong area of support from which the pair rebounded and pushed higher. However, it failed to move towards this barrier, the one that I was talking about, the 1.1305, because a break of this one we needed to see in order to aim for the upside. So for now, we'll keep an eye on this barrier here, the 1.1110. If we get a break below this, then yes, this would confirm a forthcoming lower low, and yep, we will aim for slightly lower levels. For now, we're just waiting here. We're not doing anything, and just observing the price action. And finally, Euro USD. So this one, well, it continues to flirt with this 1.0990 level, because yes, it did overshoot it. It's currently balancing just fractionally above the psychological 110 zone, but as you can see, the bears are really fighting hard and trying to get this one back inside the range. So again, guys, yes, the fact that we managed to get a sharp move above the 1.0990 today, that could be good news for the bulls. However, let's see where the daily candle is going to end, because we don't want to get another false breakout here. So that's why for now we're going to probably remain a little bit on the neutral side, and although it is pushing above this 1.0990 level, but like I said, keep your eyes on this one today, and if we do see the daily candle staying above this barrier, then yes, there could be more chances for this one to drift further north, and then yeah, we'll examine levels like the 1.1039 or the 1.1147. So for now, guys, like I said, be very careful, be vigilant, and yep, keep your eyes on today's candle. So guys, I really hope you found it useful, and thank you very much for watching and listening. If you want to join me tomorrow morning, as always, at my Traders Espresso, that's 6 o'clock GMT time. But for now, I hope you stay safe, guys, and I'll see you later. See you tomorrow. Thank you very much, and bye-bye.